I know I've been gushing about this game a lot and praising this game quite a bit, but I'm going to do it one more time as we start this video. Something I just noticed about the lighting in this room. It really shows off how well the lighting actually works on Link's character model. Like, I actually think the lighting looks pretty good. And like, I don't think they're using a totally new lighting engine here. I think it's the original lighting engine just like remastered in HD. But I don't know, I'm super impressed with that. I think it looked great. I think it looks really good. By the way, my name is Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. We're about to get another boss key. It won't be the last boss key that we get. Mysterious crystals. Isn't that so interesting? Like, again, it's not a key, I suppose. It's more like a amalgamation of like a different, well, this time crystals. The boss we're about to fight is one that, like, I'm not sure if it's gonna, like, it's one of those bosses that can go incredibly well, or it can absolutely destroy us, you know? But one of the good things about this game, one of the good things about Skyward Sword is that everything is done with context. Everything feels like it's real. Do we have an empty bottle? We do not, but look, I'll take you with me anyway. There you go. Like, nothing's ever done just for the sake of it. Like, some stuff is just fun game stuff, which you kind of have to have in some games, but like, everything that kind of is on the main story kind of feels very real. Kind of feels like it's functional. We were talking about that last time too, and this is one of those bosses that I feel exactly that way about. I will save that game. You kind of have to cherish this, right? You kind of have to cherish this idea. Grab. Make it into a key. There we go. No, make it into a key. Turn it this way. Oh. Oh. There we go. I love that you have to, like, bend the Joy-Con all the way around. I recently replayed Breath of the Wild just, like, a little bit ago. I think it was, like, I think it was back in March. And like doing those like different like trials with like the motion controls was always so much fun because you're just like, you're literally just bending your whole arm and go, oh, this looks really good. Not as surprised by the door closing this time. The boy is here. Oh, he looks so good. He looks so good.
Oh, hello there, Link. I see you're still among the living. Fancy meeting you here. We seem to bump into each other time and time again. Oh, it's no coincidence, though, is it? You and I were bound by a thread of fate.
By the way, he looked at the camera there. He looked at the camera. Did you see that? He looked up at us. Like, I'll replay it for you guys as well if you didn't see it. He looked up at us as he did that.
Look at these old drawings.
They look fantastic.
Until I found these, I was upset about that little stunt that the goddess's guard dog pulled at the gate of that time. What's that twig's name again? Impa? Well, never mind that, because these drawings suggest the existence of a second gate of time. This news has just filled my heart with rainbows.
Oh my god, you're so amazing.
I've never been a busy boy, searching here and there.
I've been a busy boy, searching here and there for another gate of time. He's so amazing.
And yet I couldn't even find a single clue. Since I know I can be honest with you, I'll admit I got a little sulky. It was frowns all around.
How can you not love this guy?
The thought of never getting my hands on that darling young girl again was, well, more than I could bear. But then I found this place. The prospect of a second gate of time has made me positively giddy.
Or giggly.
That girl, your adorable friend, she will be instrumental in bringing about the revival of my master. And though I feared she was now
for the first mention of the master, by the way, not the first mention, but like the first mention in this context, like, hey, I'm gonna be bringing back my master. My master, not just like the dark one, or like talking about like the kind of like idea of there being this like darker creature out there, because we have heard it before, but in this context, it's like, hey, he's very serious about this.
I despair no longer.
But before we talk any further on this subject,
there's still the outstanding matter of your punishment, Link. Do you remember when I told you that the next time we met I'd make your ears bleed from the sound of your own screams? Well, I've been thinking, perhaps corporal punishment is a touch harsh. I might be willing to forgive and forget if you'll strike a deal. All I ask is that you tell me where I can find the Gate of Time. That's not too much to ask, is it? Oh, and don't you play coy with me. I know that you know, so why not let me in on the fun?
Link's like, that's a no. That's a big no.
Such behavior. A mischievous boy like you needs to be dealt with firmly. I must warn you. I won't go easy on you this time.
Can I have a hug before we fight, though? You're absolutely amazing.
Lovely, aren't they? You'll find the supple skin of my arms tougher than any armor. Doesn't this shape just leave you breathless?
Kinda, honestly.
Behold, such beauty, such a pure form, such an exquisite physique, such stunning features. Yes, I've pretty much got it all. Though, there is one teensy tiny thing I lack. Namely, mercy.
He's so theatrical, like he's so over the top.
Come to me, Link. You and I were bound by that thread of fate, destined to fight. So come close, Link. Meet me in battle, and the thread of fate that binds us will be soaked crimson with your blood.
I have to write this down because I want to talk about this in future, but it's going to spoil later on in the game. So I want to talk about that, what he said there, how we're bound by fate later on. So here we go. Yet another Graham fight. So we can stop in mid-motion here. Try and lead him over here. Just do this. One of the things that, like, I always made the mistake of in this fight, and it happens to the best of us, is that you kind of, you instinctively move away from the bad guy, right? You instinctively move away from the boss. But in this context, like, what you want to do is just stay in one spot, or at least that's how I found, at least for this part of the fight. Oh, he got us there. He got us there. Oh, so here we go. Like, yeah, you're amazing. You're amazing. You're the best. You're absolutely the best. So use 2 swords now. So I think it's kind of like pretty similar to what we were trying to do before. We're just trying to find an avenue to beat him again. Which isn't too difficult. But I think what we want to do mostly with this fight here is that we want to kind of goad him into like a jump as well, because that jump move that he's going to do hopefully in this fight is, yes, it's legendary. And now we can do this. Trying to keep that gyro under control. And he should do another jump soon. But we might as well get a hit on him here too. Do another jump attack for me, buddy. Oh, that's our bad. That was a wrong flick of a wrist. Oh, I need to reset the gyro there. Ah! Okay, we got this. We got this. One second, let me target you in a second there. Wait, let me target you. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Just like that. Yeah. So he's gonna send us... Oh, okay. Yeah. I accidentally clicked the R2 button. Where's he coming here? What's he going for? A downward hit then? I need to be quicker than that. Yeah, like that. I actually find these fights with Gurums like so much fun though. And they are the true test every time you fight them, right? They are the true test of like, have you learned? Have you gotten any better at the fights in this game? And if you haven't, that's fine too, of course. But like, there's always room to learn. What's he going for? Diagonal? It's better to move back so you have more time to react to this. Yeah. And he's gonna do another jump. freaking love this fight so much. And he's using more moves that he could have used at the start. But like we said before, he like treated us not as a threat. You know what I mean? He didn't see us as a threat until now. And like even now he probably doesn't even see us as too much of a threat. But he's kind of like, I'll break out some of the big guns for you.
Enough of this foolishness. I am Gurham, Demon Lord. It shouldn't matter how powerful your sword is. You're still nothing. Not just a human child. And yet you prevail. You filthy scab, you've awakened a wrath that will burn for eons. I swear to you. Whatever it takes, I will drag you into an eternity of torment.
Is he trying to convince me or himself that we're not like up to the challenge for him? Because I think at this point he's kind of realizing, okay, we're not just like gonna go down without a fight. We're not just like, you know, a little weakling, as he says, or a little boy. Like, we are a little boy. We're a little boy. Look at us. We're very little. we're like 5 foot nothing, but yeah, this looks amazing too. What a great fight. Again, training us like to do, or like at least like kind of like equipping us with the tools that we need to go forward. Like if you do good in that fight, that's great. It's like, okay, you kind of learned how to, you know, play the game a little bit better. But if you don't do too well, it's also like, hey, look, this is a good time to practice the different skills you can use. It like works both ways. I like it a lot. And it's always still kind of weird seeing these kind of like open, kind of like hallways and like dungeons instead. Like we saw like even on the ship, like they're all different. Like, every one of them makes sense for the place that we're in. Oh. Let's reset our calibration. And there we go. But yeah, Gurham said we're destined to fight. Which I think, oh, the red flame looks so cool, too. Like, the lighting in this game is superb. It is just fantastic. That's one thing about Skyward Sword that's so, like, amazing, is that people think that this game was, like, a lot of people do think that this game is kind of just, like, this lazy effort that they made to, like, a Zelda game. Some people treat it as, like, the black sheep. But then, like, if you play it, it's like, there's so much love and care put into every single moment of this game. It's incredibly polished as well. Like, again, we've seen through this playthrough that if you do the right motions with the motion controls, it works incredibly well. You know, it's an extremely polished game. And it's not just the remaster that was polished too. I played the original without any, like, preconceived notions going into the game. I had no biases. Link, you look so awesome. And now we're gonna have another change to our sword. I liked it, and look at that. The flames of Jin have imbued your blade, a sacred white light that demons revile. Look at that. It does look very cool. I still kind of prefer the kind of like traditional looking sword, but still. The purple goes well with Link's, like, aura. Goes well with his character. Link, show off that sword. Show off those sword moves. Fight needs to see. Fight needs to see you're good with a sword. And there's the third one, which I believe is power. I could be wrong. You guys might, like, be able to correct me on that. Master, now that it has been tempered by the last sacred flame, your blade has finally revealed its true form. You now hold the Master Sword. What's that? That must be like something that was never done before this game. With this sword's great power, you can awaken the Gate of Time with in the sealed temple. I recommend you make your way to this location. What if I don't want to go there and break my heart? What if I don't want to? What if I... Oh, wait. Hey. What if I don't want to go there? What if I know there's gonna be nothing but heartache awaiting me? Pretty fun fight though to start off like this whole episode actually. I would have done the last one, but I just feel like I wanted to give as much attention to the Graham fight that I could. Especially like considering that like he is like probably like top 10 villains for me of all time. Actually, before we do anything, I want to go back up to Skyloft very quickly. I want to spend these rupees. It's like, you know, there's no point doing anything else until we have all of our like rupees spent. We can upgrade some stuff, I suppose, which might be interesting. But like also, I think we could also buy some stuff out of Beetle's shop too. He's actually one of the first places that I would go to. Such a beautiful place. Again, like I always say, guys, and I do have to remind some, you know, people often. Sometimes people might be like, "Hey, why aren't you doing this? Or why aren't you do that?" The reason why, yeah, there's not that many side quests we're doing here in this, and we did that just that one, is again, like I said, we have 2 playthroughs where I did side quests, 1 playthrough where I did every single side quest, like in the game, like you can do. And this is just kind of like a run through of one of my favorite games in HD. Yo, Vito, I need to buy some stuff. He sees me with my fat rupee bag and he's like, yeah, come in here right now. So first of all, let's buy another adventures pouch. Yeah, right away. 600 rupees. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, why not? Thank you. You're welcome. Your freckles are really nice. And this, how much is this there, Beetle? Can you tell me this now? That's a life mail. It bestows a bunch of mysterious and mystical effects on you. What kind of effects? Don't ask me. I don't actually get. But I think that, like, we don't have enough for this. But I think what this is, I think it gives you, like, does it give you more defense? I don't know. I don't know if I've used it. This is actually a very simple chest, actually. But you can't get it without the claw shots. But the claw shots do open up a whole new avenue for everybody, or for this game when it comes to obtaining chests. You got a potion medal. Carry this with you to prolong the effects of a potion. So if we did this and the invincibility potion, which I'm actually thinking of doing, if I'm being honest, which may sound weird, I'm actually thinking of maybe doing for the final boss. Because again, I'm still a little bit undecided if we're going to be doing the boss rush. Only because I was thinking about it and I was like, well, we've done the boss rush twice before. It's not like something we need to do terribly. It's very cool. It is very cool. But we know we can beat it. We've beaten it twice now. You know, we know we can beat it. The next place we're going then over here is towards this chest over here. I actually like take advantage of the speed boosts way more than I usually do. I'll see you guys in a minute. And you got the heart medal. With this, more hearts appear more often. Which can actually like be a pretty good item, I suppose. Like, I suppose like you could like use it like, I guess if you want to do less stuff with like potion stuff and things like that. I love going underwater in this game now, guys. It's actually one of my favorite things. I get excited when we get to do it because I love secret passageways like this. Oh, that was totally intentional. What a trick. Sometimes things are like kind of hazy in my mind when I'm thinking about this. And like what happens in this game and what happens next. But right now we're gonna head to the sealed grounds. Because I'm thinking that something, yeah. Here we go. I thought there was gonna be a cutscene for a second because I'm assuming something is going to happen. And I think it's right around here. Man, it's so cool being back in here. The music, that music cue is amazing, by the way. That one music cue. It sounds so good. Again, it's very like, wait, what is that over there? It's like a catapult of some kind. Huh? What is this? I wonder if we'll find out. Here we go. And it's been a while since you've seen these two. You alright?
Ah, your sword. There can be no doubt the sacred flame has purified his blade. Well done, Link. That sword holds tremendous power. That power is a sacred force. It is a divine power left to us by the gods of old. The same power that is spoken of in the Ballad of the Goddess. To look upon you is to see the same great power now flowing through you and your sword you carry. Come, Link, you must now open the gate of time. Now that the sacred force dwells within your blade, strike the gate of time with the Skyward Strike, and it will surely wake. Okay, so we have to just hit this block here. Yeah, climb up on the pedestal and show her the gate. Yeah, let's do it. Thank you so much. Right as we were about to do that. No! I feel the seal is given away once again. That terrible beast is awakening even as we speak. It is likely the monster reacted to the sacred power given up by your sword. I wish it had not happened, but there is no other way to open the gates, so it goes. Link, you must imprison the beast once again. I guess we will imprison the beast once again. Bring it on, let's do it.
This is what I've been waiting for. It's time to break out my new toy. Trust me, that flabby bag of tea doesn't stand a chance. What are we waiting for? I'm heading out there.
So, like, we see, like, very quickly a change in Groos's demeanor, right? Like, that's a hero. You know what I mean? Like, let's just go. He's just like, let's just go. He's not asking about it. He's not asking questions. He's just going. The true hero of this game. Groosy baby. Let's go down here.
Hey, Link!
There he is with the catapult.
Duh. Try not to drool on your shirt as you stare at this amazing super weapon I've been working on. I call it the Groosinator. Leaves you speechless, doesn't it? That's only natural. You wouldn't believe how much time I put into building this beauty. Here, check it out. First, I got all these fences cluttering the area out of the way, then I laid down the rails for her to run on. All by myself, of course. I don't know what came over me. I had no clue I had the talent to make something like this, you know?
You always had it in you, buddy. You always had it in you.
Anyhow, you just tell me where you want me to place my shots, and I'll put a hurting on that ugly monster. I don't care how beefy you are. You're bound to stumble for a few moments after taking one of my bombs to the body. Hang on though, that monster showed up a smidge sooner than I was expecting. There are a few final adjustments I gotta make before she can move on the rails. I put down. I call out to you when she's ready for action. Till then, do whatever you can to hold off the beast.
So yeah, Groos is awesome. What I love about, yeah, like as we said before, Groos is taking action here. And yeah, he's now spending his time for productive things. He's been spending his time with the granny as well. So he's now kind of like obtaining a new way of looking at things, which I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of our boy Groos. You can see the 3 symbols there as well. Yeah. I heard opinions on this last time. A few people don't like this fight whatsoever. I love it. I love it dearly. It's always so much fun. It's always so much fun, and it's still pretty terrifying. Look at this. Your big teeth. The teeth, like... It's one of those things that, like, there's so many moving parts that it gets very, very terrifying to me. Now it's got its hands out.
Look at that! Seems our ugly friend grew itself a pair of hands. Great timing. I hope it knows how to catch because my machine has a mean right arm. Well, if she's all loaded up, I'll let you know. Until then, do what you need to stop it.
So what's so cool about this little creature, to me, is that, like, it kind of reminds me in a way of the knockers in To Your Eternity. And in To Your Eternity, the knockers will adapt. You know what I mean? Will adapt to whatever we're... Let's jump on it. We'll adapt. Oh, it's knocking us off here like this. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, the knockers will adapt to whatever you do, so you can't reuse the same method twice.
Hey, look, the machine's all loaded and ready to smash. If that flabby Sakiji tries to climb the wall, I can blast it off from here with a bomb. When you want some backup from me, just send the signal with X.
Sure thing, Groos. I dropped down all the way here, though, so... very sad, very sad, very sad. I'll be there up there in a second, though. Here's an X for you there, Groos.
Alright, it's time for Groos to explode into action. Adjust the machine's position with L and aim at your target. Once you finish aiming, press the R to launch a bomb. If it hits you, you'll stun the scaly sucker.
Yeah, we'll remember. It's okay. Oh, it almost, like, it's climbing up as well, the poor little thing.
She packs a mean punch, doesn't she? I tell you, I was love at first sight the first time I pulled this lever. I'll start loading her back up with another bomb, so keep beating on the big ugly till I give you a signal.
Sure thing. That gets knocked off there. Jump on again. Hello. I'm here to say hi. You can always just see Link like, I'm not dying for this. I know, I have fun with these fights. I really do. I'm just now noticing the symbols on the side of the stone wall as well. That's actually really cool. So Groose is ready for action now. So I think we will wait until it tries to climb up again because I feel like we're just gonna waste our time if we try anything else, you know what I mean? I mean, we could try and stun it. That probably won't hit. Okay, it did. It did. Okay, so it stunned it for a second. It stunned it for a second. Sorry, I have to walk on your cool mohawk there for a second, sir. Like, Groose is genuinely helping. That's one of the coolest journeys and like one of the best character developments in Zelda. And I think probably the best character development. Maybe like, I think the other one that people would mention is like Midna in a lot of ways is very good too. But I think one of the reasons I love like Groose's character development so much is because like you can kind of see him change over time. You can see it in his face. And he's now gone from like wasting his time by freaking like bullying us and like trying to get Zelda to realizing that he can help Zelda in other ways. Like he loves Zelda dearly. You know, he loves Zelda so much that he kind of realized that, well, I'm probably never going to be with her. So let me just like instead help her in any other way I can. Which I think is extremely mature. Or it's growth at the very least. Oh, can you imagine falling into his mouth? Yeah, there's some things in this game they should have kept like in 480p. There's some things that were not made for high definition, and that mouth is one of them. And like we did before, I think this fight actually went very well. I think it went like swimmingly. Swimmingly is a weird term, but I guess that's the best way you can describe it there as well. Like, there's so many amazing visual concepts in this game. Like, you look at this right now and like everything is like even if stuff's not like gorgeous in like a very magnificent way, right? Like in a very like traditional way. There's like beauty in like those like flakes just floating through the sky as well. Strike the ceiling spike with the Skyward Strike and restore the seal quickly. I will do that right now. Almost spoiled something. I probably have before already. I probably have already done it. And then we have to do this. So down. Diagonal. Across. Yes! It's like a sideways hourglass. Phantom hourglass. Linebeck is back. There has to be moments like these moments where Link knows he looks cool. Right? Like he can't just pretend that he doesn't look cool. Like we can see it. We know you look cool. We know you look cool.
Nice work there, Link. Of course, you couldn't have done it without me.
I couldn't have. I could not have. I could not have.
But no need to thank Groose. I know I saved your tail. Now let's get the gated time thing up and running. I'll go on ahead.
Groose, look how happy you're. Like, he's so much, like that's the thing, Groose is way happier helping other people than he is just trying to like sabotage other people. Like he's so much happier and that makes me feel so good. And like I'm sorry, but that's true for life in a lot of ways, guys. I'm not saying that like, oh, if you help people, you're gonna feel much better already. Like everything's gonna be cured. Like that's not how it works. All I'm saying is that like, you know, a lot of people will be like very mean to people and then be like, why don't I feel good? You know? And it's like, maybe you should like change one of those aspects of your life, you know? Just one. That part where you're being mean to people.
It seems you were successful in imprisoning the monster again. You have my thanks, Link. As do you, Groose. I do not wish to dwell on what may have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Groose, look how much... Oh, you give me too much credit, Granny. Look how much like, in the time we've been away, he's really respects Granny now.
You're the one who got me to stop feeling sorry for myself and put my energy and do what I could do to help.
Exactly. Exactly.
I did what was necessary to get you to realize your full potential. Link, you must wonder just what it is you've been fighting out there in the Great Pit. There is much I could tell you, but suffice to say, it is the root of all of the evil we face. When you pass through the Gate of Time, you shall learn more. We may seal it and reseal it into its prison 1,000 times, but it will always shatter the bonds that confine it. Such is its awesome power. We must destroy it at its source. Suffer this fate again and again. There is no time to lose. Hit the gate with a Skyward strike.
Come on already, charge that sword of yours with that circuit force stuff Granny was talking about and zap the Gate of Time. Right, Granny?
Indeed.
Look, he feels so happy that he's like, he has a purpose now. He's a goal. He has a place where he belongs.
Go to the gate.
Like, he's probably asked all these questions to Granny already, you know what I mean? He probably understands this now better than Link does, almost. And here we go. And like, this is what we've been working towards, right? This is what we've been working towards. Sorry for the quick cut there, guys. I love that Groose is like so shocked by this. Like this epic scene as well. Like again, since we've been working so hard to get to this point, it's so nice to see this like big, awesome, like magical scene for us here as it creates the Gate of Time. The music in this game is just absolutely amazing too. I say it all the time as well, but it's just fantastic. Like, they really went all out this time. And I really feel like when they were making this game, they finished it and were like, this is like our story masterpiece, you know? This is like the point where we have a game where like the story is like so cinematic and incredible.
Do not fear it. This is what we have waited for. At long last, the gate has been reactivated. Standing before you is a path that transcends the flow of time. It is a portal to the past, to the very place where Zelda now awaits. Go bravely, Link. If everything is as I suspect,
The reunion with Zelda you fought so hard for lies beyond this gate. This is what we fought for. To see Zelda again. Oh. Oh, like instantly I heard the music cue and like tears. No, don't worry about me. I'm gonna hang back here, Link. That stupid monster doesn't know when to quit, and Granny here keeps yapping on about how we never know when it might be bus free again. Someone's gotta stick around and guard the place. Might as well be me. Groose, you. Like, it fucking like, I don't know, I've seen this before and I'm just like a mess already. Like, his music's so good too. Groose, you're amazing. Besides, if I'm not here, who's gonna look out for the old girl? And you know what? Oh, don't say it. Yeah, nah, forget about it. Like he desperately wants to be the guy who's walking through the gate right now, but he understands his purpose now, and it's made him a better person. When you see Zelda, tell her I said what's up. That's so Groose. That's so Groose. Oh man. Like, what great character writing, what great dialogue. Like, everyone's staying true to their characters even in the most emotional moments. Link understands that he's not just doing this for Zelda. He's doing it for everyone in Skyloft, and Groose is one of those people. Look at this, it's so cinematic. The music, this is one of the best songs in the game. If you know the name of this song as well, guys, please let me know. Really trippy how this looks. Oh, Groose. When does Groose fail to make us really emotional? And look who's waiting for us right away. Sorry if I'm not doing the silly voices, or the voices right now. I'm just like, this is a pretty impactful scene for me. At last, I've been expecting you, Link. You are doubtless overwhelmed, so I will explain things as simply as I can. This is the Temple of Hylia, though it will come to be known as the Sealed Temple sometime in the future. You stand in the past ages before your own time. Here, the goddess Hylia has only just sealed away demise. And little time has passed since the goddess has been sent to the outcropping of rock into the sky that would one day become Skyloft. It is true to its name, you have passed through the gate of time, to an era in the distant past. You'll have many questions, but for now, you must proceed back through the great doors behind you. It is there that the person you've risked life and blood to defend waits for you. Whew. Like, just before we go there, I'm sorry for like, I suppose, you know, doing a in-episode cliffhanger here. We're not ending the episode, but what's so amazing about the writing of this game to me is that, like, it's very simple in a lot of ways. Like, a lot of it's, like, very intricate, and, like, I think it has the best dialogue through a lot of Zelda games. But, like, they've been building this up for the whole game. They've given you one singular goal. You have to meet Zelda, you know? And it's not just, like, and Link doesn't just want to just, like, you know, save Zelda entirely. You know, he does want to save Zelda, but at the same time, he just wants to see her. You know, and that's what people are saying to him. You'll finally get to meet Zelda. You'll finally be able to get to say hi to Zelda. It's not just this matter of like, I must save her. I must save her from the darkness. Because yes, that's it. But he also just wants to say hi. You know? Which to me is just as special. It's just as special. Let's not waste much more time. Oh, the game's like, let's just go right into this cutscene. Oh my god. You come so far, Link. I'm glad you made it. You've come so far too. You've done so much as well. I imagine Impa filled you in on everything. We traveled very far from home to the distant past. In this era, the wounds inflicted on the land... Stop. Dome. Why didn't you patch out this song? The goddess known as the Demon King, known as Demise, have not yet healed. All the fairy tales about the war we heard growing up in Skyloft, incredible as it may seem, they appear to be all too real. I think it's time you learned the whole story. Let me try to explain. Please do. God, it's so good to see you. I dropped my Joy-Con again. I'm excited. The old gods I almost said the old Joy-Cons. The old gods created the supreme power that gave anyone who possessed it the ability to shape reality and fulfill any desire. They called it Triforce. In his thirst to make the world his own, Demise readied a massive army of monsters for war. He sought to take the Triforce for himself by force. The goddess feared for her people. She used her power to send both them and the Triforce into the sky on a slice of earth she cut away from the land. This floating rock became the new home of our people. In time, it came to be known as Skyloft. After a long, fierce battle, the goddess Hylia succeeded in sealing away Demise. However, soon after the Demon King was imprisoned, it became clear that the seal would not hold long against his fearsome power. Hylia had suffered grave injuries in her battle with the Demon King. She knew that if he broke free again, there would be no stopping him. And if the Demon King were to free himself, it would mean the end of the world for all beings of this land. In order to put an end to the Demon King, Hylia devised two separate plans and set them both into motion. Link's like, oh my god. Like, it's a lot to take in.
First, she created Phi. She made the spirit that resides in your sword to serve a single purpose, to assist her chosen hero on his mission. Her second plan was to abandon her divine form and transfer her soul to a body of a mortal. Who was that, Link? Who was that body? She made the sacrifice, as you have likely guessed, so that the supreme power created by the old gods could one day be used. For while the supreme power of the Triforce was created by the gods, all of its power can never be wielded by one. Knowing this power was her last and only hope, the goddess gave up her divine powers and her immortal form. You've probably figured out by now, haven't you, Link? You are the chosen hero. And I, Zelda, I am the goddess reborn as a mortal. This is such an interesting, cinematic shot as well. The day of the ceremony, Girahim's tornado tossed me out of the sky and down to the world below. I was nearly captured by the demonic forces, but I was rescued at the last moment by the old woman who lives in the sealed grounds. I've no memory of it at all of my existence as Hylia, but she explained it to me. She helped me to remember who I was and what I had to do. I set out to pray at the goddess's statues located in each temple across the land. Each statue stirred up memories within me. After I visited them all, Impa, an agent of the goddess, led me here to the past. So she's been doing stuff. She's been doing a lot of stuff. All of this is part of the same great effort to prevent the revival of Demise. Stripped of his true physical form by the seal that binds him, he takes the shape of an abomination. But even in his hideous state, he's more than capable of devouring this land if we allow him to do what he desires. Oh. We must stop him from freeing himself from the seal that imprisons him at any cost. That is why I intend to remain here in this time and place to sustain the seal as best I can. As long as I continue this vigil, we might be able to prevent the Demon King from fully reviving himself in his own time. Link it snaps into his mind. Wait, do I not get to stay here, you know? I must maintain the seal that Hylia, rather that I created so long ago, and keep it strong for as long as I am able. With the memories of my former life returning to me, I can see now that is my purpose. Link, the goddess created Phi and the great blade she's a part of for very specific reasons. For the task of standing against Demise in its monstrous form, he now assumes rest solely on your shoulders. Back in our own time, you've already driven him back into his prison twice now, and I can't thank you enough for that, Link.
Link is he's stunned. He's stunned, as you would be.
During your long journey, you've grown so much. You learned wisdom
from solving devious puzzles and traps.
You gained power by honing and tempering both yourself and your sword. And by overcoming the trials set before you by the goddess, you found true courage, using all of the Triforce. Now that those qualities reside in you, you're worthy of wielding the power the old gods left behind for our kind. You can claim the Triforce.
Oh my god.
Valiant hero, you've endured many hardships and journeyed far on your quest. I just want to say to all the people that go this Zelda model is really bad, F off.
Look at her, and she's amazing.
Along your travels, you have found wisdom, power, and courage, and for this I shall bless your sword with the goddess's power. May it give you and your sword the strength to drive back the abomination that threatens this land.
And there we go.
The mark you see upon the back of your hand is proof that you are the hero of legend, and that within you dwells a sacred power. It is the mark of the Triforce. Stand now, Link. Draw your sword.
So amazing. This whole scene is gorgeous. It's beautiful. He's like, look what I got. You see this? And now it opens up. It's the true Master Sword.
The goddess has blessed your blade, and the Master Sword is the last to achieve its ultimate form. The sword is now imbued with the mythical power to drive back demons, and only Link may wield it. Link, before I say another word, I feel like I owe you an apology. You see, the mark of the Triforce in your hand is a symbol of the greatest power of this world. If you can obtain the actual Triforce, we will have the power to vanquish Demise once and for all. The problem is, among the countless souls in this world, only a select few of those with an unbreakable spirit can wield its might. It's impossible to know the true reason why the old gods created the Triforce, but I have a theory of my own. The gods created the Triforce, Yet they specifically designed it so that their own kind can never use its power. Some might think that may have been their way of giving hope to all the mortal beings of this land. Which brings us back to you. To face demise and give the land hope, the goddess Hylia needs someone with an unbreakable spirit. That someone is you, Link. But spirit alone wasn't enough. You had to overcome many trials and awaken the hero within yourself so that you could wield that supreme power. And so Hylia, and so I knew that if it meant saving Zelda, you would throw yourself headfirst into any danger, without even a moment's doubt.
True.
I used you.
It does not matter, Zelda. It does not matter, Goddess Hylia, Zelda, whatever. Use me. You do it. I'll do it again.
I can't begin to tell you how sorry I am for pulling you into all of this, Link. But you have to understand this is a war, and the fate of the land hangs in the balance. I need your strength to tip the scales in our favor. All that may be well-intentioned and true, but it doesn't mean it's right, and it doesn't excuse my actions. But I'm prepared to pay the price for what I've done. To ensure that the seal holds, I will remain here in this time deep in sleep for thousands of years.
Oh, the tears fly as she turns around really fast, but in slow motion.
Link, I can't say it enough. I'm so sorry for the way I had to involve you in this. But until my memory of things before our lifetime returned to me, I had no idea we were fated to carry such a heavy destiny. Before all this, I was happy just spending my days
hanging around with you in Skyloft. I wanted that feeling to last forever. Oh my god.
Look how much emotion is, like, pouring through this story. Like, you don't see this in many other Zelda games. While it's true that I'm Hylia Reborn, I'm still my father's daughter and your friend. I'm still your Zelda. Oh. Oh. When Demise is finally gone, there will be no more need for the seal that binds him. And then I'll be able to wake up. So I'm going to ask you a favor, sleepyhead. Oh, fuck. Ever since we were kids, I'd always be the one to wake you up when you slept in. But with this time when it's all over, will you come to wake me up?
I promise. It's such a fantastic line, but it rips my heart out every single time. Rips it out. Like all the things that Link is going through right now, he finally gets to see Zelda. The woman that he loves. Don't try to give me that anti-Zelling stuff. The woman that he freaking loves. Don't come in here with the anti-Zelling stuff. Don't even try. At least for this game. You'll be met with silence with me. It's such a freaking beautiful scene. Third playthrough of this game. Wiping away tears off my face right now. Link understands what he has to do. But like he's so upset. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's like that, you know... Like he's so upset. And you can see like his head is down. He understands what he has to do. That doesn't mean that it's pleasant. That doesn't mean he has to be totally happy about all of this. It's still very sad. Like I love Link and Zelda's relationship in this game. And I love their story and I love their journey. But it's not over yet. It's not over yet. I see you've said goodbye. Now you must keep the promise you made to her. You must find the Triforce. Return to your time. There is work to be done there. Do not fear for Zelda. I'll watch over her here. Go now and fulfill your destiny. Guys, we're going to end the video here. After having a very fantastic and emotional conversation with Zelda. I think why that scene just gets me so much is like what I've been saying. Is that like we have this amazing relationship with Zelda as a friend growing up. And that bond with someone you have growing up with them and being with them their whole lives is something that's incredibly strong. And even if it's broken through like arguments or like you never see each other for a long time, it's still incredibly strong. Link just wanted to see Zelda. He was so happy to see her. He was hanging on every word that she said, but as soon as like he snapped out of it, he runs towards her. And it's an amazing scene as well, Zelda admitting some fault, which doesn't happen all the time as well in Zelda games. Zelda saying, hey, like, you shouldn't have been dragged into this. This is something that's not your fight. It's not anything to do with you. But it kind of is in a way too. But like, it's like, I'm sorry. Hearing Zelda say I'm sorry is amazing too. Guys, that's going to do it for this video. As I said, I'm so in love with this game. We're close to the end. We're very close to the end. In fact, I don't think this is going to last more than... Maybe we'll last more than 4 episodes. I don't know. But we're very, very close to the end. It's like... very close.